Okay. 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 Yeah.
All right. With the Hebrew Israelites, we come out here weekend in and weekend out to prophesy the downfall of America. Unless you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you are the biblical Israelites according to the scriptures. And as always, we'd like to say all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
double honors to our elders, say great millstone. Honors to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father, and truth and sincerity. Jeremiah chapter 28.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
So when the prophet comes out, he comes to prophesy, it is to say before, to tell them events that shall take place before they happen. And these events that we want to warn you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of are the war, evil, and pestilence which are to come to these kingdoms and countries. Continue.
Verse 9, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him.
So soon come you're going to well understand and know that a prophet hath been amongst you when these words shall come to pass. For these are not our words, but these are indeed the words of Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, God, the Most High, through his Son, Yahushua, who you people inwardly call Jesus. So, once again, the prophets will come out to warn you of war, evil, and pestilence. And that is indeed what is on the way. So give me real quick, 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 7, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 7. And 2nd Ezra 9 and 7.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra 9 and 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Yeah, so this is how you're going to escape. All right? For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, for you are the biblical Israelites, when you're going to escape is by what?
By his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Read that again.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
So this is what you're going to have. All right? You ain't going to escape these plagues. You're not going to escape this evil. You're not going to escape this war. You're not going to escape these pestilence on your own will. But you shall escape it by what?
By his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
And what do you believe in? These scriptures, this faith, the 100% truth of the scriptures. This is how you shall escape. No other way, man. You see that? And who's gonna have this? Who's gonna have this truth? Who's gonna escape? And how shall they escape? Only the elect and the 1/3 gonna have this truth. And how shall they escape? Give me a Revelation. Which one? All right. Give me a Revelation chapter 11.
It's the book of Revelation.
I want to say verse 8. Make sure.
and the dead body shall lie in the street.
Yeah, that's the right chapter. Give me verse 12.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
That's how you shall escape. That's the escape route. Read what the escape route is again.
And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
Yeah, come up hither. That's the escape route. You shall get called up hither into a cloud, into what the world is called a UFO. That is the escape route. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Cloud by day, fire by night. The chariot of Israel, the chariot of God, the wings, the white horse. You see that? That's how you shall escape. Come up hither. Continue.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud. The escape route. How shall you make it on that route? By your what? By your works and your faith. You see that? Continue.
And their enemies beheld them.
And their enemies beheld them. You see that? Yeah, those that have the faith, those that have the works, they have enemies. You see that? It said they enemies beheld them. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Yeah, the strangeness of this salvation. Our enemies shall behold us. Psalms 83. Now Psalms 83 verse. Let's get the enemies. You trust, believe, and understand. When you read in Psalms 83, these other nations, they are not the only enemies. For 2/3 of Israel, you hard-head can't get right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they want to continue to hold the values of Esau, Edom, Idumea, and these other nations. You are the enemy also. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and I'm going to start at verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let them cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Go on to verse 2.
Oh, verse 2? Oh, I can't like it. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
For lo what?
Thine enemies make a tumult.
For lo what?
Thine enemies make a tumult.
Yeah, thine enemies make a tumult. You see that? They got a plan. They got a plot. They got a scheme. They got a playbook. Yeah, the enemies are running a scheme. Continue.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Yeah, the enemies are walking around high-minded, proud. Yeah, they have lifted up their head. They that hate thee. Yeah, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. These other nations, they hate thee. That's why they have came up with a plot, plan, and scheme to keep you hidden, so that you won't know who you are, so they could stay on top and continue to keep you on bottom. And now they are walking around with their high head, with their head lifted up into the skies. You see that? Continue.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, they got a crafty counsel that they have taken against you. You see that? Yeah, they got a crafty counsel. And what they doing that crafty counsel, bro?
They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Yeah, that's what they have said. Come, let's cut them off from being a nation. Come, let's cut them off from their heritage, their culture, their traditions, their God, their power. You see that? Let's cut them off. Let's teach them things that they should not learn. You see that? Let them learn the ways of the heathens, they say. You see? Continue.
That the name of Israel may no more, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. Yeah, let's cut their heritage off. Let's tell them that they're Negroes. Let's tell them that they're Latinos. Let's tell them that they're Native Americans. Can't let them know that they're Israelites. See that? We got to take that out of remembrance. Yeah, we got to hide that. You see? Yeah, the enemies have done this. Yeah, let's give them false gods. Let's give them religion. Let's give them philosophies. You see? Yeah, continue.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Yeah, they have consulted together with one consent. Yeah, they on one accord. You see that? One sign, one band. Yeah, they on one sign, one band. Yeah, can two walk together? At least they be agreed.
On the left-hand side.
They on the left hand side. Yeah, man, they got one sign, one band around this bit to make sure that you will not understand and know who you are as a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. So they thought. You see that? So they thought. Continue.
They are confederate against thee.
Yeah, they are confederate against it. Yeah, they have a confederacy. You see that? Yeah, they have a confederacy, man. They done teamed up like the damn Avengers. You see that? And they came against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You got it, bro?
The tabernacles of Edom.
Yeah, the tabernacles of Edom, a.k.a. YT Man.
And the Ishmaelites
Yeah, and the Israelites, a.k.a. the Arab.
of Moab.
Yeah, and Moab, a.k.a. the Chinese.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes, a.k.a. more Ishmael.
Gabal and Ammon.
Yeah, Gabal and Ammon. Gabal meaning more of you damn Ishmaelites going off into you Hamites. And also who?
Ammon.
Ammon, the Japanese. Continue.
And Amalek.
And Amalek, East Indians. Continue.
The Philistines.
And the Philistines, more Hamites, so-called Africans.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
More Africans. Continue.
Ashur also is joined with them.
And Ashur is also joined with them, Syria. You see that?
They have opened the children of Lot. Selah.
They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. You see that? These are the enemies. All right, these are the enemies, and not just and that ain't all of them. You see, that's just those that came into agreements together to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans from knowing who you are. Right? But we have more enemies than those. You see that? Yeah, it's 18 nations out here.
The destroyer of the Gentiles.
You see that? It's 18 nations out here. So yeah, we got enemies, man. And this is what they have done. They have taken away your what? Your heritage, your culture, your tradition, and have given you falsehoods, lies. You see? To keep you what? To keep you asleep. No more in remembrance of who you are. Now, let's get that Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5.
This is the book of wisdom. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. You want me to start at verse 1?
Yeah.
In verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Yeah, then shall the righteous man, meaning the prophets, stand in great boldness, bold as a lion. You see that? Before those that have afflicted them. Who's afflicting us? Those damn enemies. You see that? They try to keep us from what? They try to keep us from remembering that we was Israel. You see? Once again, key word, tribe. But what would happen? Those great men would stand in great boldness. Yeah. The prophets will come back on the scene to bring you what? To bring you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To bring you the truth of the scriptures, which have been given unto us from Yahweh through the Holy Spirit. You see that? Continue.
Before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Yeah. In the face of those that have afflicted us, that made no accounts of our labor. You see that? And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you will not receive any payment, all right, for the accounts of your labor over here in this captivity. So for all y'all that's fucking constantly talking about the reparations and so forth and so on, it ain't happening. You see that? Our reparation will not come from these. See, hey, what the scriptures say? Though you will repay me. You see that? Though you will repay me, you can't repay. Ain't no repaying. You see that? Nah. Our recompense, our reparation is going to happen when Yahweh returns and set up the kingdom of heaven. All right? Restore the kingdom unto Israel. That's when you shall get your reparation, your recompense, your reward. When these heathens shall receive their reward on top of their heads. You see? Continue.
Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yeah, and when they see it, see what? The prophets back on the street corners. You see that? Singing the song of Moses, singing the song of the Lamb. Yeah, they shall be in what? Terrible fear. That's what's going to happen. Hell, that is what has happened. You see? Not what's going to happen. That is what has happened. You see that? Past tense. For the prophets, we've been out here. You see? Since what? Since 1969. We ain't got out.
What's the precept that goes into great fear for the problem of Sodom?
That's what you just read.
Hold on, but on the book of Revelation, I want to read that precept.
Oh, that's in, we're going to get there.
Okay, no, that's in Revelation.
And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
That's right. So they seen it, and now they are what? In terrible fear. You see? And they're going to be amazed at what? At the strangeness of our salvation. Going right back to Revelation chapter 11, right? Going right back there. All right. Say they're going to be amazed by the strangeness of our salvation. Well, we just read the strangeness of our salvation in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, right? Verse 12. So like it.
It's the book of Revelations 11 and chapter 12. In verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Yeah, that's that strangeness of that salvation that they're going to be amazed at. You see? Going right back.
Like at verse 2 in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
Fine. All right. So they ain't even really looking for this to happen. You see that? But yet we come out here and tell them what's going to happen. They think what we speaking not going to happen.
Yeah. So,
you see?
so far beyond that they look for. They're like, that is never going to happen.
Right.
Continue.
Continue.
Verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Yeah. Is this not them that we had took the name of Israel out of remembrance? And now we just have these people calling themselves Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and celebrating our customs and traditions? Is that not them? The ones that we had our foot on their neck? Yeah, man. Is that not them? Continue.
Verse 4. We fools accounted his life madness.
Yeah, we accounted this man life madness. Ain't no way he gonna wake up out of that. You see that? Ain't no way he gonna be able to see through the madness, the darkness. You see? Continue.
And his end to be without honor.
Yeah, and we counted his end to be without honor. No way they was gonna wake up through that. All that hell we put on them. All this madness we been giving them. You see that? Rape, robbing, murder, oppressing. You see? Got them locked in man, we got them fighting each other, killing each other. Talking about some Crips and Bloods. You see that? Talking about some GDs. You see that? Yeah, got them locked in madness. Ain't no way they waking up for that shit. Yeah, that's what they thought. That's what they thought. You see? Continue, bro.
Verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High?
Yeah, how is he numbered? How did they wake up? How is he numbered? How they receive that salvation? Yeah, we're going to get into that today. That's the moral of the damn story. Yeah, we're going to get into that today. Yeah, how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans going to wake up out of that sleep, the elected in 1/3 that is? How you going to wake up out of that sleep and get that salvation? Yeah, according to what? Your works and your faith. Yeah, you got to have what? You got to have this faith, and you got to do what the scriptures say do. Yeah. Not only shall you be a hearer, but you shall be a doer. Yeah. Not only shall you be a hearer, but you shall be a worker. Yeah. You shall be what? Once again, saved by your work and your faith. Continue.
How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints?
Yeah, and his lot is among the saints. Yeah, how is he numbered? How is he in that number? Well, guess what? We're going to find out how he in that number. How is he amongst the saints? That's Revelation chapter 11. Let's get that. Going right into what you was talking about earlier. All right, so we're gonna go ahead straight to that verse, and then we're gonna jump to the top of Revelation chapter 11. So go ahead and grab that Revelation. We'll start at verse 11. So 11 through 12, and then once we cover 11 through 12, then we're gonna go to verse 1. Yeah. Come on down with it.
This is the book of Revelations 11, and starting at 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai entered into them.
Yeah, 3 days and a half, 3.5 days, meaning 350 years, meaning 42 months. You see that? When you see 42 months, when you see 3.5 days, that is talking about what? 350 years. So 350 years, what?
The spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Yeah, the spirit of the Most High entered into them. Who is that them? The prophets. The men that are standing on the street corners, being bold as a lion. You see that? That has this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to wake up the elect in the 1/3 of Israel. You see that? And we shall give them this word, and this word they shall what? They shall trust in, have faith in, and they shall do the works, and you shall be delivered by what? By your works and your faith. You see that? Yeah, 350 years. We was what? We was dead. We was dry. You see? From what? From 1619 to 1969. 1969 in New York, where our elders started. This is where what? This is where the Great Awakening started happening. 350 years later. You see that? Matching what? Matching prophecy. Continue.
The spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Going right back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Yo, great fear fell upon them that saw them. Who is that them? The heathens. Yeah. For our enemies have said, they shall cut us off, where there shall be no more remembrance of the name of Israel. But then, guess what? 350 years went by from that 1619 to 1969. Our elders hit the street corners in New York, and guess what? They saw the breath of life enter into us. Yeah, and we was out there saying that we was Israel, and they were saying, "Oh shit!" Great fear fell upon them. They said, "Oh shit, we got issues. we got problems now. they waking up." Hey, I don't know if you know it or not. We thought we had them lost. We counted their life madness. You see that? Yeah, they waking up now. Yeah, you're damn right we're waking up. You see? Continue.
Verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Good. Going right back to what we talked about before. So yeah, this is the work that we're doing right now. And eventually, we shall what? We shall receive the strangeness of our salvation. We shall hear a voice that's going to say, "Come up hither." And we're going to ascend into what? A cloud. And our enemies shall behold us. You see that? That's right, man. That's what this is all about, man. Hey, the scriptures say what? The Holy One of Israel, the Redeemer. They're going to send the Redeemer. Who's the Redeemer? Yahushua. Going to come back and do what? Receive the Israelites out of the lands of their captivities. That's what it's all about. You see? Yeah. We're going to wake up you dry bones. Yeah, we over here in the valley of dry bones, man. That's where we at. Over here in the valley of dry bones. Can these bones live? You see that? Can these bones live? Yeah, prophesy unto the bones. That's what he said. That's what he told Ezekiel. Prophesy unto these bones. And that's what we're doing. You see that? For those that got the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you can see this breath of life. And you come back alive. You see that? And you bring fear upon who? Yeah, you bring fear upon our enemies. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's happening. Yeah, because our awakening is their downfall. You see that? Yeah, our awakening is their downfall. Let's believe and understand that. Starting at the top of Revelation chapter 11.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, at the top, verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of the Most High.
Yeah, rise and measure the temple of the Most High. Go out and speak. You see that? Go out and speak unto the temple of the Most High. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Lord? You see, man, go get that, man. Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7, man. Starting in verse 48. Know ye not that you are the temple? Yeah, go out and speak. Hey, go out and measure the temple. Yeah, go out and speak to the Israelites. Go out and speak to the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. That's what he's saying.
Acts chapter 7 and verse
48.
Here it comes. It's the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Verse 49. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Verse 50, has not my hand made all these things? Verse 51, ye stiff-necked, is that the one?
Yeah, continue.
They stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, they do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did, so do ye.
Yeah. Hey, the temple is not the temple that's made with hands. The Lord does not dwell in those things. You see that? Do you understand that? That's what we're telling you. That's what we was reading. Understand and know that. And we come out and tell you that, but yet you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you continue to what? You continue to pile yourself up in that place that you call the harlot house. All right? You continue to be stiff-necked. You continue to be uncircumcised in heart, meaning mind, and ears, meaning you don't listen to the prophets. As it said, as you do, so did your fathers. Understand and know that, man. All right? Continue with verse 52.
Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them, which shewed before of the coming of the just one.
Done. So which of your fathers have not your fathers prosecuted, man? You see that? Y'all still prosecute us. We come out with this truth, and y'all tell us that we don't know what we talking about. You see that? Y'all tell us that we are a bunch of racists. You see that? But how can we be racist when we don't control that?
Exactly.
We can't stop another nation from doing anything. We don't have no say. This is not our kingdom. So how can we be racist? But yet, all these other nations, they can stop you. You see that? Yeah, so-called YT man, he can stop you. You see that? Because this is his kingdom. His kingdom. You see? Yeah, he got say in this place. So he's the ultimate racist. Understand and know that. You see that? But see, he'll sit back and try to act like he's home. Yeah.
Oh, he go crouching?
Yeah, he'll play the game. You see that? That's what he does. Understand and know that. That's what he does. Continue.
Persecuted, when they have slain them, which shewed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers.
Yeah, man. Bunch of damn betrayers. A bunch of traitors. That's what y'all are, man. All right? A bunch of damn traitors. So, give me that where it say, no, you're not that you are. I don't know why the hell that shit skipped out of my mind. All right, so understand and know, according to Acts chapter 7, verse 48 through 52, that the Lord dwelleth not in temples made with hands. So he is not in that place that you call a church, for that is indeed a harlot house. And if you are still inside those churches, learning a bunch of nothing, all right, learning a bunch of pretty much you antichrist, man. That's what I call y'all. For whatever the scriptures state, y'all go against. You see that? For whatever the scriptures are talking about, you have no clue, no idea that it is in the scriptures. And every time you come around us, you are made to look exactly what you are, which is a damn fool, man. When y'all come up with your wicked ass philosophies of that you think that you have the understanding of the scriptures, but all you have is philosophies. Then when you come up against us that actually know the scriptures, we make you look foolish, man. Bring that.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?
Yeah, you are the temple. You see that? You so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, the elect in the 1/3, once again. You are the temple. You are getting measured. Those that have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, those that receive this word from the prophets, you are being measured. You see? Continue.
Oh, let me just
Read that again.
1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High,